Okay, everyone also be aware of, muting yourself, because sometimes, we forget and then there's background noise. So right now, Miriam and I should be unmuted so we can talk a little bit. So this will be just today, like short money constellations, just looks. We will only do a little bit to look where the problem is coming from. You know me, like if I can release it fast, I will. If I cannot, then we have to postpone it or do a private session. So let's start, Miriam. So Miriam, you told me about like putting yourself out, looking into a job, and then even though you are overqualified, they are not hiring you. So we want to look at that, right? Yeah, what's going on there? Okay. So let me see. Let's switch the camera. I think we should do you. We should have a representation for you. We should have a representation for a job. And then also money.
Okay.
And you have also your own business, right, that you are building?
I've started kind of working towards that. I've been getting guidance that I need to put myself out there.
So it's not ready to launch yet. You're still like learning the steps, right? Or
right. I've taken some steps of like starting one part of what I want to offer. So I've been working a little bit on that. And then I've been speaking with people that are just basically showing up to like offer what I need. And I've been in conversation with them.
Okay. So that's more like a technical support, like you need support to find out like how is that done, right? But
one of my excuses was like, I don't know how to write the copy. Like, how am I going to make the offering? And then I see someone from my tribe post, I'm offering free copywriting for 2 people. Message me.
Did you get it? Did you take it?
And I did. So we've
okay, good. Yeah. So this is very, very good. So you know, like it's really good to have a vision board. Like, okay, what is it that you would like to create? And you need to know that you are worthy of having that. And you also need to know like how are you going to be receiving love while you're creating that, or like you need to put those systems in place. And then when you constantly see it, resources will show up on the way. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
so just stay with that. That's really, really good. But so until then, you have kids, right? And you're a single mom, so you need income or you need money.
I mean, I receive their child support from their father, and that's what we've been, living on the last.
Yeah.
Months. I did have a job that I began in January that didn't work out. It was not for me. It was pretty scary, actually.
Oh, okay.
My activities of like agendas and all of that stuff. I just couldn't handle all that knowing of what was going on.
Yeah.
And be there. So I was let go because I was like, I don't know if I can continue going to this job. Like, whoa, this is some scary stuff that I'm noticing here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that a lot of conscious people have trouble with jobs because of that. Like when they see lack of integrity and that kind of stuff, we can't deal with that. So I could also hold jobs just for a short time always because my integrity was the price that I had to pay, and I just wouldn't. It's not for me. But yeah, for a while, sometimes it's necessary. So let's look at it then. Okay, so could you please put out, give me a color that is for a job?
That blue one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. And where does it go in the room?
It goes to the right, the other side.
Here? Here?
No, the other.
Here?
You're there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And you?
The pink, the light pink.
Okay. Where do you go?
I go in the middle-ish.
Where?
In the middle.
Middle?
Yeah. Closer to the middle.
Good. And then where, and money, color for money and where money is.
Money is green.
This one or?
There's another green. Yeah.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. And where does that go?
That goes, it looks like on the left bottom. The other, sorry, the yeah, there.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, do I have your permission to represent all these cards for the best of everyone involved?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see what the job represents here for you. I am a little sad here. There's like this kind of like a tender sadness in the field. So the job actually does want to come to you and hold you, but it may be someone else. It almost feels like either mother, child, or father. The very first thing I was thinking is father picking you up and holding you. And but interestingly, like money is out of the way. So what comes to your mind when I say that?
Yeah, I'm sad because of my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And just not in putting some strong boundaries with him recently and my mother.
You put a boundary between him and your mother,
and father. Yeah.
Father. Mm-hmm.
Sort of disengaged.
Mm-hmm. This is a loving reaching out to you to hold you. Let me see. Let's stay with that a little bit to see. So there's something about your father where actually he does want to provide or support you somehow. You know, it may not be money in that case, but he does want to give you this. So is your father, like, did he ever want to support you with money or with anything?
Yeah, he's helping me at the moment when my children and I are here, and this is the way that that's the way that he's basically helping me.
So that, but then you said that you put some kind of boundary, right? And so
yes, I'm not engaging with him at the moment.
Okay. And can you tell me why? Like one reason?
I was made aware of just abusive tendencies and ways that I'm really sensitive to, and my boundaries weren't being honored when I asked him to not speak to me that way. And
okay. So he's abusive. So what's in the way is abusiveness?
Yes.
Okay. Let's put that out. Because I do feel sadness in the system, but I'm not sure like where it's coming from yet. Because you know, this looks aligned, like he wants to reach out to you, he wants to give you money, right? But then when you are talking about abusiveness, you need to put boundary, you know, so you will put that kind of boundary, anticipating that the job could be abusive, right? And that's how you felt also about the job you talked about. So
yes,
that abusiveness. Can you give me a color for the abusiveness?
Is that gray?
This one?
No, there was another like brown, gray, right in the middle.
This?
Yes, that one.
Okay, so now there is more energy going on. So I put it here in between. Oh, now I'm getting a headache too. Wow. I'm getting a huge headache. Almost like a flu. Oh, wow, it's like amazing. So I'm like sweaty. I feel like sweaty. Like when you get a flu and you have the fever and a headache and all that. So what is that about? Oh, wow. Does anything come to your mind? It's like, this is as if I had flu and yeah, like awful flu. Like, you know, like when you have this like fever and you sweat and you cough and it's just super intense. Does anything come to your mind?
My heart area is just really like I'm really feeling it there right now. I'm feeling some energy there, and when you coughed, like my mother came to mind. She's been coughing a lot, and that's the first thing that came to my mind.
So has anyone passed away like sick?
No.
Did anything ever happen when someone was sick?
My dad's he hasn't been working for a while because he's had this thing going on with his chest.
Okay, so it's also like tonsils. I even feel my tonsils. Okay, so there is this sickness here, and so everyone is connecting to it. See, like it's interesting. So for him, it comes as abuse because something is not seen. So what about the sickness? Like, who is that really? And so your mom is also connecting to that. He's connecting to that. So it's in, you know, all of you are being stuck with that somehow. So where is that coming from? It almost feels like some ancestor. So are you aware of anyone in the ancestry, grandmother, great-grandmother, uncles, aunts, anyone that died maybe with tuberculosis or anything like that?
No, not that I know.
Wow, it's like now it's totally like in my throat, like my tonsils and my head still. Okay, so what is the sickness energy here? So let me see. So if this is your father, okay, where does it go? Where did it come from? So I'm moving it here because I feel we need to go back. And it's not that they lost a baby or anything like that, Miriam. Did they ever lose a baby due to sickness?
Not that I know of.
No. Great-grandparents, great-grandparents, no one? It's going back. Okay, let me see if I can find out how back it goes. So here it's and so it looks like grandfather. So this would be your father, your grandfather, your grandmother behind your father. It's like here. So this would be for you, maybe great grandmother. Do you know anything about your great grandmother on your father's side?
I met her when I was small.
Yeah.
Time. I don't know much.
You don't know much about her?
No, I used to go to her house a lot, actually, when I was small.
Uh-huh.
And she wrote me a letter before she died.
Okay. Any clues there? What did she say?
I remember she just kind of wanted to say hello to me and to see how I was doing. But I was like 9 years old, and it was right before she died, I believe.
Do you know what her purpose was in life? What she did?
I don't. I just remember going to her house and just watching TV with her and my grandmother.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. So let's see if we can just acknowledge her. If it's her, I'm just testing, you know. Maybe something will come to you in dreams, or you know, something will show up now after acknowledging her. Wow, it's just amazing how just having the brown, you know, like affects my throat and my lungs, and you know, I even have pressure in my ears, like when you're sick. So let me just acknowledge her. It would be good to find out a little bit about her, where she came from, you know, what she went through, just to see her, just to have her included in a way where she is not interfering with everyone, because it seems, you know, that's what's happening right now. So I'm going to Just tell her we see you, great grandmother, and thank you.
Give myself up for next lady.
Thank you for showing up, and I'm going to put your mother and your father behind you. So your mother, your father. And we just acknowledge her. It's good to see you. Hey, both of your father and your mother, they do look supportive, Miriam. Like they really do. So there is something going on that we need to explore about this brown energy, just to acknowledge, what happened. It has something to do with disease, but also, when people get sick, it could be also some big event that would be good to know about, So I don't know what her purpose was, what the lesson there is, but definitely she is calling for attention here. So I will just acknowledge her for now.
Okay.
And you see, like what you can research a little bit. What did she deal with? Where's the talk? What did she deal with in life, that could serve you to bring some peace also to receive from your parents and also to receive from the outside. So something like somehow she's interfering with all of you, all three of you. So as soon as we find out what is it about, you will be released, and it should be pretty easy to get support from your parents and to get support also from the outside, from jobs, from universe, from everywhere, so you won't be putting boundary there because of getting afraid, of abuse. So
Okay.
to leave it here.
You know that for sure it's her, Klara, or it's
it looks like it's coming from your father's side.
Okay.
Of the family, so it may not be exactly her, even though like it's pretty much resonated. Like when you said you knew her and all that, it pretty much resonated. So something may have happened there. There may have been some abuse, I don't know. Something that needs to be acknowledged that is going to be a lesson and resolve whatever your family is dealing with. It seems like all of you are dealing with it unconsciously in a different way. So your dad and mom by being sick, and you by not allowing stuff in, so
yeah,
definitely I would explore what happened there. It could be even, cultural, like sometimes like big events. Sometimes like you look into your cultural inheritance and like what were big things there. So, I was working one time with one family, and whatever showed up went all the way back to Aztec human sacrifices. And that's how far we had to resolve things. It was just amazing. So, just do a little bit of research and see what resonates. Something big there needs to be acknowledged, okay?
Okay, thank you, Klara.
Yeah, you're welcome. How do you feel now, by the way? Actually,
I feel like
really, yeah?
that's moving inside of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it may come to you in a dream, so we will see, because it actually feels, just by talking about it now, it already feels that it is aligned. Look, like I'm outside, and already something is happening here to you where you can, you feel more stable here with your parents, and, that is outside, like looking at it outside, like it's an event outside. So it's very important to see it that way. And also to see your parents, like, okay, they have been dealing with that as well. But literally, like, they look very supportive, Miriam. Your parents look very supportive. So, whatever is in the way, we just have to release that. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Klara.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go to next. Okay, Simone, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. So how was this for you? Did anything ring a bell? Because you said it was similar for you.
I can't say that anything
Okay.
sort of stuck out. No.
Okay. So let's look into yours then. So what do you think is more urgent, to put your business out or to get a job?
Get the job first. But I felt like, it's the delay with working on the business probably stems from fear of success, or fear of responsibility. Whereas, getting a job, being an employee feels like less responsibility for me.
Yeah, less vulnerability too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so fear of responsibility. Okay, let's do a little look at that. So we had, in the bonuses, remember, like there was one on fear of triggering, and then again also the constellation on the dream from last week. I think that is also helpful for this year, like to do things like push to the finish line despite despite the raging war outside and the fears about what's going on, if it's safe. So those two would be like super helpful for you to revisit as well. And then, yeah, okay. So
I was gonna say really quickly. So there was like a recent, like, the lotteries, sometimes they go up to like 500 million, and so there was one that was just recently at that, and I was like, just for fun, I'm going to buy a ticket. And I thought, my conscious brain will say, well, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be just fun to just win 500 million like that? But really, there was a belief under that I could feel really strongly that said, oh my God, do you know what that would mean? That would mean you'd have like all of this heavy responsibility and burden, all these people that you'd have to take care of, and all of these things. So I shouldn't even have bought the ticket.
Okay.
It went from being fun to just being like very burdensome.
Yeah. I used to feel that too. Like I was always thinking like, okay, if I got the money, what would I do with it? I don't know what to do with that. It would be so much stress. Similar, so similar. So okay, let's just look at money and you. Okay, like a lot of like more money in you. Because I know you are okay with money that just gives you the bare survival, but more money than bare survival and you, okay? Yeah. Let's look what shows up.
Okay.
Okay, so one for you, Simone. Well, let me switch. Okay, one for you, Simone.
Pink.
The light pink or the dark pink?
I feel like the light pink today.
Okay, good. Let me just change the energy really quick. This one's for you. Okay. Okay, light pink, where does it go?
Right there. Right where your foot was. Yep. Like, well, no, right where you're, like, lower. Yep.
Outside?
Oh, inside.
Inside here?
Yep.
Okay. And pick one for money.
Green.
Okay, this light green too.
Oh, that green right there. Yeah, that's great.
Where does that go?
Right there where you're standing. Right there. Yep.
So it actually, okay, it actually feels already that you have it energetically, at least that it is already aligned.
You know, Clara, I have felt that, and then I'm still, but where is it?
Yeah, how is, yeah, okay, so that's interesting because energetically you already have it. You already have it. So, okay, so let's look. So let's take out your business and let's take out the job. So where is it? Like what are the possibilities? Maybe you should have bought the ticket.
Well, I did buy it, but it went from fun and, you know, sort of just fun play to like fear and burden. So, you know, I wanted the ticket, but I didn't win it. So.
Okay, so you already have the money. It feels aligned. This is interesting. Okay, so let's look at the fear and burden. Can we put one for fear and burden then?
Fear and burden. Fear and burden. Fear and burden would be probably like a gray color for me, or brown. Brown or gray. That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Fear.
Yeah.
Okay, and burden?
Burden.
Is it one thing, fear and burden? Is it one energy or is it two things?
I feel like it feels like it's intertwined to me.
Okay.
Fear and burden.
So it's like one.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a notion where it goes? Because I don't. It's almost like flying around.
It does feel like it's outside. Like it feels like it's not on the mat.
Where's the noise coming from now? Oh. I don't see.
Yeah, it does feel like it's outside. I would say let's put it right up here by the chair, the black chair there. Like where you are.
On the chair?
The black chair.
Oh, black chair.
Not all the way that far. I'd say like in the floor in front of it.
Did you say on the floor? I don't know what the noise is, where the noise is coming from. I don't see anyone unmuted. Is it from you or?
I don't believe so.
I think it's from Simone, it feels like.
No, because no one else is unmute. Okay, so let me see. Fear and burden. Fear and burden. You know how this feels? It feels more like it's not your fear and burden. It's more like people around you who have that. And you are tuning into that. And it's almost like they pull you their way. So I think what you are... But it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people, Simone. So it's almost like a cultural thing going on here that feels that fear and burden. So the fear and burden feels like it's a lot of people. It's almost like the culture you are from, and it's more collective. So how do we do that? It's more like the environment you are in, or the culture you are from. So somehow.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's somehow maybe you feel like guilt, you know? There's like a guilt on your side that you are not here, but you are over there. And so let me see. Yeah, you will have to bow, you know, to where you came from, to your roots, you know, and it's really time to go your own way, you know. It's really time to separate, but also to go big and to inspire instead of enable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it reminds me of the constellation. Do you guys remember when we had to separate where we came from? I think that one was on, what was it on? There was one we did where, remember, like the family was here and we had to go all the way here and separate. And so there's probably the fear of separation because like we like to belong, right? But because you are one of the light workers, you're one of the people that need to move ahead, conscious entrepreneur. You will have to leave the old paradigm. You will have to leave the cultural expectations, the traditions. You will have to leave them behind and become a leader. And by doing that, by embracing your money, you will inspire others to do so as well. Instead of playing into that, like, okay, now when I have to enable you, you know, or I have to support all of you. It's way too many. There's no way for you. There's no way for you to support all of them. So you need to, the only way for you is going to be to embrace the new and inspire them. And then they can follow your example.
That makes a lot of sense, Klara. That are you talking about the constellation? Are you talking about, was it a module or was it a group alignment?
I think it was a group alignment. We had not last week, but probably the previous one.
Okay.
Not the dream one, but one before, and I don't remember what it was called right now. I will find out and I will tag you or send it to you, okay?
Okay. But everything you're saying makes 100% sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, great. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. All right, who we have next? Simon Quinn. Yay!
Yay, okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just like pushing my meeting back. I had one at 11:30. I'm just going to push it back to after the
Oh, okay. Let me try to do it quickly.
It's okay. You know, I can move very fast, but don't worry. I mean.
All right, my dear. So let me spray them so we can clean them.
Right. I love those little. I remember when we first worked together in the body, and you had those little things that you put down. So I have like a memory of them.
Oh yeah, those are good too. Yes. The disc. You mean the disc?
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't at this house. It was your old house. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Those exact pieces of fabric.
Oh yeah, these guys. Okay, great.
Yes, you've had them for a while.
So okay. Romantic partnerships and money. Okay, so let's.
Well, this one's, it's kind of interesting that you said that, because this is more about me receiving health insurance and getting a loan based on my employer but I feel like there's a tie to all of that with romantic partnerships. I'm not romantic with my employer.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, remember, we're being recorded. No, just kidding.
No, disclosure. It's not.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not.
But that's where it's coming from usually. You know.
Yes.
And like prior to that, it could be also the relationship with mom, because romantic relationships often are continuation of the reaching out to our mom, to that relationship. So if there was any reaching out trauma, you know, any attachment trauma, that will affect the relationship with mom, the relationship with romantic partners, you know. But you work a lot on yourself, so I don't know like where.
Oh yeah. I'm all good with, like, yeah. I mean, I of course there was stuff with mom. Yes.
Yeah.
I just really, I'm feeling stuck around what to do next with resolving this tax bill, money, health insurance, and moving forward with getting a loan, or how I'm going to resolve this. I feel my energy is really stuck, which it usually is not.
So they could kind of like guide us to what's behind that.
Yeah.
Just look at that, you know, like just like we looked at the symbols in the dream last week, we can look at the symbols of that. So the tax bill, employer, and you.
And health insurance. They've been promising me health, and it's a man, you know, like I said, since I don't have a partner that I'm doing money with. I have a partner, but I don't do money with him. This is the only like male figure I'm doing any money with, but it is sort of like, you know, because it's a startup company, it's an agency. It does feel like a little bit of a partnership, you know? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, they promised to have insurance for months, and it has not come through.
So
yeah.
Is the insurance and the tax bill, do they feel like two different energies, or does it feel as the same?
They feel like slightly different energies, but they're related, because it has to do around the theme of not coming through for me, or not. And he keeps saying, oh, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to take care of it. But the thing was, like, the health insurance was supposed to be taken care of like months ago, and it was supposed to come through in April, and it didn't. And then this whole thing with the loan, like, it's something that I'm needing him to do specially for me to get this loan, which he may not be able to do. But again, he starts out all the conversations with, I'll take care of it, which then triggers me because he hasn't been taking care of it for the insurance. It's like trust. And I don't know if the answer really needs to come through him either. I think it's like the entire universe is out there, right?
Yeah, of course. Should we use the sentence, I will take care of it, as one energy?
Yes, I will take care of it as one energy. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So can you give me a color for you?
I want to be purple.
Okay, purple. Do you like this dark one?
I like the lighter one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where does it go?
It goes maybe right in front of you, but a little bit to the right of you.
Here?
Yes.
Okay. And then, oh, my nose is so itchy.
That's funny.
Yeah, I know. It's like when you don't want to deal with something, you know, it comes. And then I think it's in the system because I wasn't this itchy before. Oh.
Well, I haven't wanted to deal with going to the doctor to get a checkup, you know. I have been like swimming to improve my health, and I haven't wanted to deal with like taxes, you know. And so they're both things are coming.
Yeah, I started itching like crazy. My eyes are itching, you know. Crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, resistance. Okay, so there's you.
Oh, and I have to tell you that he hasn't responded with a time all morning, but just now that you put the square down, he just texted me back and said, let's meet at 12:30. So I have to tell you how powerful this shit is.
Okay, so I'm going to take care of it. Can I have that sentence?
Yeah, I am going to take care of it.
Which color would you like?
Oh, right now I'm feeling kind of upset, so I think it's black.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And where does it go?
I think it goes to the, like, to the left of that other square, but like in front of.
Like this?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel the sadness.
Yeah.
I actually feel it already underneath you.
Yeah, I'm feeling really sad too. Like I felt sad this morning, like I wanted to cry, and there was stuff coming up about leaving my marriage, just trust of partners, men, mother, yeah, family, yeah.
Oh, okay. Like it's really like pulling me in already.
Yeah, I'm starting to tear up. Wow, I'm really feeling.
Yeah, I don't feel moved to put the others out. So can we just stay with that for a little bit?
Yeah, because I feel like my energy's stuck, you know? Like I went to try to get a loan and all this stuff came up and my energy is just stuck. Like I feel like I can't move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of pulling me to um and I don't want to go there. So you know where it's pulling me to, Quinn, it's pulling me to your to that experience when you had a near death experience. It's pulling
Yeah.
me the way back.
Yeah.
And it's almost like disappointment, like I negotiated with you, you know, like I said, you know, you have to provide, and so there's this disappointment.
Yeah, that's been coming up lately. I was telling somebody about my near-death experience yesterday. So yeah, that's been coming up. Yeah, there is a disappointment that, you know, my life, I'm supposed to come back and it's supposed to be good, you know, I'm supposed to be in service and it's supposed to be good for me. And then look at all these like really hard things that happened.
Yeah, and it's almost like when I'm going there, it's almost like there are like 4 guides or something like that. So I will just put them out. Let's see. Is it okay? Can you choose, like, or should I just choose colors? I feel like yellowish, like these light colors.
Okay.
One, 2, 3. it's like very intense because it's almost like I'm going to. It's intense because I would rather be on this side.
Right, right.
And at the same time, you know, it's almost like, well, we had a deal, you know, like you promised. And so I also have this, I want to call them out on that. But at the same time, it kind of feels inappropriate. So I was like, so I just joined them. So it's like almost hard to speak up about it. Oh my goodness. Oh. So there is this thing like, I would rather be there already. You know, it's almost like, why am I still like working so hard here?
Well, you know, it's about my daughter. I'm here for my daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is hard. It's hard right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of great things, but this is the feeling that I am ignoring, is that it's hard.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because at the same time I have like so much respect towards them that I don't want to step on their
So who are those four beings? Who are they?
So it feels like on the other side, I do not know. It feels like some kind of guides, higher frequency beings.
Okay.
It could be ancestors, you know, and the same. It actually doesn't feel like family so much. It's more like a spiritual family. So you know.
Yep.
That's how it feels like, not the earthly biological ancestry kind of. So I'm just allowing it because honestly, like I don't know what else to do right now. So I'm just allowing it to see how it transforms the energy.
Okay.
And it's slowly shifting, you know. I think just by acknowledging it and by, you know, allowing a little bit of that grief, already something is shifting.
Right. It's like, how am I supposed to have faith if you promised you would take care of me if I came back, which I did, and now I feel like it's been very hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but see, so what's coming to me is that the reason why it's so hard is because of your longing to be there with them, you know? So it's almost like you brought this with you as your memory and kind of like connection and almost like a trump card, you know, like, okay, when stuff goes hard here, I'm out of here, you know? So it's like a trump card here, because you know already what's there on the other side, right? And so,
Right. I already know that it's fine. It's wonderful. Yes.
yeah, but see, now the challenge is to you're being sent here because you have your purpose to fulfill.
Yep.
And that is actually how you are one with them, is when you become a guide here, right? You're kind of, it's like you're creating heaven on earth, right? But because because you had this direct portal almost, you know.
Yes.
It's like your trump card. It's like your little shortcut. Like, I'm not going to become one of you here. I rather slip to you and then it's done, you know. It's like there's this like this tricky, like easy way out a little bit that stayed because you had that experience, right? So it stayed with you. And so it's almost like letting go. So it's so different. So it's like cutting the umbilical cord and owning that you can be what they are here to you. You can be that here to some others, and you can literally create the same kind of dynamics here as they have here. But now, because you are from them, you want to, you know, like you rather go to them because there it's already higher vibration has been created, right? And you know you came from that. So what you need to do is really let go of this. Like you need to cut this umbilical cord and really like be present with what is. So
okay. Well, I feel like I am helping people. I feel like I am just like them. I feel like a guide to all of my clients. As you know, I've started doing my really deep work, and I'm attracting a lot of people now. And even people who attracted me in community, they're attracted to me because I am a guide to them. You know, the relationships are more reciprocal, but they are attracted to me for the light, you know. So again, why does it have to be hard? Like, why does this bill have to come up? Why can't I have health insurance like normal people? I'm contributing. I just want my freedom. I'm just raising my daughter. As you know, I support my partner in a very hard karmic situation, and he supports me, you know. So like, I feel like I'm doing my work, you know. I feel like I'm finally just doing what I said I would do. Right? Being a guide, a light, being pretty selfless. I mean, being, you know, not wanting to be paid, but I'm pretty loving to people in their situations.
Yes, exactly. But this is just like super hidden little links, you know. It's like that's how it feels, like a trump card, you know.
Right.
And so you will have to completely let go of that so that all this can start flourishing, you know. So it's almost like a little like, but you know, like I have, you know, if shit goes down here, I still have this, you know. And you will have to let go of that to fully manifest here.
So what does letting go of that black square mean, really? Does it mean like, oh, I don't really want to die. I'll die like much later because I need to be here for my daughter. I'll be here 100% because I still travel between the worlds, and I think that's okay. I don't think that's
yeah, absolutely. So how it looks like is more it's more acknowledging the love, the light where you came from. It's acknowledging that, knowing that it is in you. And it's also saying like, okay, I am now ready to take it from here. So, which is like, kind of like releasing them from any responsibility, releasing them from the role of having to support you, and kind of like stepping in this like really, I was talking about it to someone else, like when you're stepping into the bodhisattva self, you kind of become also like part of it is also becoming ruthless. Does it make sense? So part of it is also at times to not be just like good and allowing everything. Part of it is to speak your truth and speak it sometimes ruthlessly, like with conviction and power, which is, you know, sometimes when kids play, right? Sometimes kids play and you know, like they may do something that can be dangerous, right? And we can give them a nice warning, like, hello, you know, like you need to be careful, like this is not, you know, safe for you, like something could happen, right? But at times we have to go, like if they're about to jump off a cliff, we have to like be a little bit stronger in how we convey that message. Like, okay, now you stop, that's it, that's enough, right? And so I think that maybe that's what's needed here, is to finally like really own who you are and what your rights are, what is yours, and speak up with this power, instead of being so nice and accommodating and like, okay, yeah, you know, because I can manifest anything, which you can, right? You are very good.
Right.
But
right.
that doesn't mean that people can take advantage of you. There are times where you need to put your foot down and like, no, that's it, that's enough, this is it.
Right.
And I think that's the trump card, you know, that you will have to let go, because you can manifest it and you're like, okay, it's not happening here, so, you know, I will get it differently, which is great. It's part of it too. It's part of, you know, knowing how to master energy. But there's also like, there are times when bodhisattvas say like, no way. And also say like, oh, do you think that you really want this? It's not going to be that easy, but you want it? Okay, let's go. And it's like this harsher reality at times too. You know, like it reminds me to a story when people were challenging Jesus, like, okay, so can you heal this person? Like he's about to die. Can you heal him? And it's like, do you really want it? And then when he started the healing, you know, there are parasites coming out, all kind of creepy stuff, you know, and he he almost died from all that stuff purging, right? It wasn't pretty, right? But sometimes we have to do that too. Like it's not pretty, it's not gentle, it may not look like loving, but it's part of taking responsibility and also calling other people on their responsibilities.
Right. So obviously this man has promised me health insurance that he has not delivered. I need to say that's not okay. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, the other thing's kind of funny. The other thing's kind of a funny issue, like the way that he structured my income was for his own benefit, but now there's like a downside to me, which I didn't know there was going to be before, as I'm trying to get a loan. So that's something, I don't know if he's broken any promises. It's more that I sort of just allowed that restructuring because I didn't know that I was going to need to do a refinance. And now it may not happen. Well, I guess that's the thing. I mean, I could put my foot down. That doesn't mean it's going to work. Maybe that just moves the energy, right?
It's okay. If that doesn't work, something else will. But that's your next level, really, in your creating heaven on earth. So he may not be a man of integrity, and it may not work with him. But then you get him out of your space, and you're communicating to universe. This is how it will go. I will be with people who have integrity and who treat me fairly.
Right. Yep.
This is why sometimes revolution is important, you know. Like we can be, you know, like, oh no, I don't want to create trouble and waves, but you know, sometimes the whole needs a revolution. Sometimes we need to kind of create those little revolutions for ourselves as well, when speaking up for what is, you know, what is aligned with integrity, what it's true, and what is fair.
Right. I don't like a lot of drama, so I want to speak with
exactly.
But I don't want the drama.
Exactly.
But it's also just that black thing. I mean, really, you could just told me that I need to like say I have rights, but I feel like there's something significant about that black thing energetically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about just me saying, well, this is what I deserve, because obviously
Yes.
you had to call me on the black card, the black thing.
Yeah. So yes, because that is that there is a way how things can work better, right?
Yes.
But those things are not working like that on Earth yet because of lack of integrity. And if we don't call other humans on that, who is? So as guides and as healers, it's our job. That's why we came to create heaven on earth, right? For ourselves. And it's part of it. The lack of integrity needs to be called on. And that's how we can create it. I didn't even know about integrity until I was 35. Like I literally just learned it when I was 35. So, and I think that I'm someone who studied, someone who works on awareness and all that. I didn't even know what that means. So imagine many people who are not as aware and don't even care about these things, right? There's a lot of lack of integrity, and Bodhisattva is ruthless and will call on that at time, like people just want to have good things and think if they pray and don't harm anyone, that will be enough. But we have job to do to clean things too, and to also help others to get back into integrity. And sometimes it's by being an example, right? Like what we saw before, and just inspire them, because like it's like, trying to give them something is not going to do it. But sometimes, we need to call them on their BS.
Right.
And as light workers and energy masters, like we know we can go around, but I think we are coming to the times where we cannot walk on eggshells around people anymore. So I think it's the next level of energy mastery is to also like, go straight to their soul with our communication and call them on shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay. So all right. So it may not work out with him. I know it will work. It will work for your life eventually, because you are in integrity again. You are not being abused. You are not being treated unfairly. And so if this guy is not going to do it, next one is, because you will expect it from the beginning. You will not even get yourself into a situation like that. You will recognize it. And if everyone does that, they're not going to be able to continue treating people like this. Do you see it?
Yes.
So yes, this is not, in order to manipulate to get you what you want necessarily, but eventually it will get you what you want.
Right.
And that's the trump card, that we need to just say like, okay, we are cutting the umbilical cord. And we are now becoming the guides here, and we are taking over. So we don't need to wait for someone to save us, right?
Right.
I think the times are just shifting. We don't need saviors. We need, we are ready. We are ready to take over.
Right. So are we cutting off my connection to those four beings, or are we just cutting off the dynamic, the black square, the dynamic?
It's just a way out if things don't work here. Okay, so then I'm, like when it gets aggressive here, I'm not doing it. But it's part of your spiritual growth to know when to be hard and when to be soft, right? Because we are collapsing polarities here. So there's time when you need to be straightforward and harsh. And there's time when you can be very loving, allowing, and soft, right? And
right.
So we are just letting go of the trump card when things are not loving and allowing and manifesting magically. I'm out of here. I mean, this is already, they already did the job. It's our job to do it here. And so, it was really just a subconscious, that there is better way of working. That there is a world possibility where it's working according to integrity, love, and appreciation, right?
Right.
You already know of that.
Yes.
But, it's right now it's like, okay, we know it exists, but now we have to also create it.
Okay.
And
So what are we going to do with that symbolically?
Symbolically, I would just leave it here. Then the time is to connect. We will be together.
Okay.
It's pretty simple as that, and really bowing to, I am actually one of the fortunate people who do have that experience, who have touched it, right? I know it exists, so it's actually beautiful, and it's a gift to have that knowing. But I want to say, look at me friendly, while I'm stepping into the next level of mastery of creating heaven on earth.
Right. Okay.
And when my time comes, we will be together, but I will not, I will let go of this longing for now, and will be fully present here, what needs to be done here. And sometimes it's really just to get the skills or get the help. Like sometimes it's really just get the professional help, and knowing your rights. When you know your rights, then sometimes they need to, they will recognize, and, they will not fool you. People will take advantage of us if we don't know our options and what is okay and what's not. So, do you get it?
Yep, I got it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in this world. I'm letting go of the longing to be in the other world.
Yeah.
I'll be in the other world when it's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to put out the money or tax bill now.
Okay.
So the tax bill and the guy, right?
Yep.
So can you give me one for the tax bill, color for the tax bill and the guy?
Let's do a navy blue for the tax bill.
Mm-hmm.
And let's do kind of a brown for the guy.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. So I don't know how it's energetically going to work out, but this really had to do with this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's like I don't have to recreate trouble in order to I don't have to recreate not trouble, burdens or difficulties in order to remember this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yeah, it's really connected to that. So I let me see. I am letting go of I think I'm ready to be with what is here. I'm ready to be fully with what is. And now let's look. Yeah, so I don't know how it's going to play out. This is going to be interesting. I would love to know.
Right.
I would
Okay.
like to know how we disappeared that tax bill, but I would like to look at this guy.
Okay.
And this feels good. I feel equal. And I feel I can speak from the equal position.
Okay.
And I can communicate, just communicate. kind of what I feel is also like asking questions, like why did you do this? Why is it like that? Can you explain it to me? Ask a lot of questions. And then say like, oh, okay, you know, actually that doesn't work for me. And so I would need something like blah, 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 you know? So
Right.
asking questions and then also communicating your needs.
Okay.
I think something is going to happen then because I'm like turning around. I see that things will change and I will get more support from around. Like I feel now a lot of support coming in all around when I do that. So yeah, I think that's it.
So just talk to him as an equal.
Talk to him as an equal, ask questions first. Why did he do this? Why that? Why this? Why that? That will help you to find out, you know, what needs to be done. And also like speak from, you know, your needs as well. But first, when you understand his side.
Right.
Like get his side first, like understand it, why this, why that, you know, that will like give you new ideas and new resources.
What about my karma with him? It's kind of like he's wanted to work with me for like 20 years. And then he came to me at a time when I was laid off and taking a break from my career and doing my body work and offered me this position. So in a way that he definitely like supported me in getting from not working back to consulting. But now I don't know if our karma needs to keep happening. I mean, I feel like I've worked for him and gotten him to this other company, and you know, if we are, I guess I feel like if we're going to continue together, it's not about paying off any debts, but about us just mutually benefiting.
It feels very equal. It doesn't feel karmic at this point anymore.
Yeah.
So I think once you are able to, you know, asking questions why he do things the way he does them, and then to speak up for your needs, you will find support and solutions all around you, around both of you. And it doesn't feel very, you know, like usually when it's karmic, then there's like this heavy kind of energy, you know. So this feels actually very complete in a way, where there is no attachment necessarily, you know. There is a partnership that is very equal and no codependency, no dependence. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Just more like free communication, and I think that's your next level.
Okay.
And so maybe that's why he is here, because he's able to facilitate that for you as a man, you know, and also employer. And so it will bring you to the next level, how you are going to be able to speak to men in general, not just men and employers and, you know, people in power.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's through asking them questions, why they do things, they do them, you know. Very often you will see that they don't know why. And that's where the solutions will come from as well. So, you know, like if you don't know why, let's look at it, you know. Mm-hmm. So let's look at it, how it could then work better for my needs, you know. Mm-hmm. So like that. Mm-hmm.
Should I be very attached to it working out the way I think it should, or is just really a conversation for a step up?
Worry about that conversation and feeling that equality and being able to ask people questions about why they do things they do, and about you also saying if that works for you or not, you know, and speaking from your needs. And then from that, solution will come, like either working differently together or letting go, you know. Solutions will come, or maybe even he may even recommend you somewhere else. You don't know, you know. Like you can use him as a referral if you are on good terms and good communication with him.
Yeah.
But it's really, you know, like it's really about being right here, right now, and being very present with the communication. So no magic really needed. That's going to do the magic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really like we are grounding now the higher selves and the magical energies. We are now grounding them into our way of being and communicating. That's where many of us are moving into. So we don't have to do our work in the shadow anymore, you know? Like,
Yeah.
time to speak up. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I am going off to my meeting now. Thank you, Klara.
Yes.
Talk to
Okay,
you later.
thank you. How are we with time? Oh, it's 12. Okay. Let me see. Okay, we have Angela, Arena. Okay, let's see. Let's talk, ladies, for a few minutes. I know we are running out of time. So we can do this next week again. Continue with those who didn't get to go today. Who would like to react? Like, if anyone had some shifts or some recognition, some growth from this, or who would like to comment, please do.
Klara, it's Miriam.
Yes.
I've just been, I'm having a hard time talking, like as if like I'm shifting a lot of, moving a lot of energy. And I did have a friend request pop up that I had before from like a family member from this side of the family that you were talking about. It just popped up on my Facebook. So I've just been, you know, what am I to do? Like, you know,
Well, maybe start some conversation with your dad about his family. You know, if that's a possibility, you need to be very gentle, not to trigger, you know, but just staying very open and just ask, you know, how was it for your mom? How was it for her mom? Or, you know, and just, or was it his, yeah, I think his mom and his mom. Yeah. Just, you know, very open conversation and see what starts coming.
I was feeling like it maybe his dad's side of the family.
Could be too, yeah. It could be too. So yeah, my was like a wild guess. So just go with your intuition and just, you know, ask some conversation, ask some questions about, you know, just life in general. How was it in their childhood? How was it for their parents? How did they grow up? Because you will know where you came from. There's a lot of hidden programming. Remember, I was sharing that our moms have their ovaries even as a 5-month-old fetus, and so, you know, your dad's mom had her ovaries as a 5-month-old fetus in her mom's womb, right? So whatever her mom was going through, all the emotional triggers, it gets recorded in the DNA. And so it then goes down to his mom, you know? So we are accumulation of all these experiences, and those that are not resolved, they just go on. And we do like all these, we have these habits, unconscious habits and ways of being that came handed down from generations prior. So when you ask a little bit about their life, how it was for them, you become much more aware, you know, where you adopted your way of being, and then you have more choices about that. Like, do you leave it with them? Do you appreciate it? Or do you have to set some boundaries and cut the umbilical cord? You know, so from that, you know, how does it support you, or how does it pull you down?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, you know, this all started when I began sort of kind of claiming my own sovereignty and my own leadership, and being free from codependency. I feel like they're still kind of trying to hold on to me, like, oh, like what happens, like if I let go of you, I won't be, that I
It's
think
also the system, Miriam, it's also the system will hold you because the system overall needs to resolve some big things. So if no one took care of it, this is why we do constellations, because for generations sometimes no one deal with like huge trauma and huge disconnection, or they abandon people at times, and that pain will continue, and the next generation will have to deal with it. And that's why we do constellations in the first place. Like whatever was unfinished, sometimes people for example, like big traumas, like a mother dying during child labor. This can affect several generations. The man, whoever made the child, will feel guilty if he doesn't have skills or tools to resolve that guilt. It's going to stay in the system. The child will feel guilty for the rest of their life because of them being alive, their mother had to give up her life, right? So this kind of stuff will stay in the system unresolved until someone is going to feel the pain and going to allow the healing. Many times we run away from it when it's so close, so only the next generation can help out because they're not so close to the trauma. So yes, like we have our own sovereign lives, but we are part of a larger system, and we have some hidden responsibilities or hidden loyalties that will be there, and if we don't deal with it, then our children will have to. So it's part of our responsibility is to resolve those hidden loyalties and those traumas in the system that has not been resolved. I wish like we could just walk away, but usually we cannot, because there's also a lesson in it always. It's almost like in that pain, in the trauma, there's a jewel too. Like there is a door that opens you to the next level of understanding life and love and the divine as well. So it's painful, but it's an opportunity at the same time.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Anyone else would like to say something? Nobody. Are we done? I can't believe it that no one wants to say something. Angela, is there anything you wanted to say?
For me, no, not at the moment. I mean, nothing really came up for me.
Okay. So it wasn't resolved. Like, how do you feel about, what you...
I actually, like I said, when you and Stella were talking and I had that realization and then I shared with you, I feel like I'm totally fine with it now.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't feel like I feel like the very first time I joined this call and I thought I had anxiety about spending and saving, and it wasn't even about that, because once I realized the real... Sorry, let me turn the camera on. Should I turn the camera on?
It's fine, whatever.
Once I realized the real reason, it was kind of just, I acknowledged it. So
Beautiful.
I feel...
Okay, yeah. Amazing. Very good. Okay,
yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. How about Stella? Did you want to say anything? Usually you like to say something.
No, not really this time. Isn't that weird?
It's all right. You don't have to. That's
Yeah.
good. We honor that too.
I'll be back next week.
Yeah, very good. Okay, Simone, Janine, Ola, Sharon.
You know,
Jess?
I'll chime in one thing, which
Yes.
I really loved where the last one went. And I'd written to the group, because what I kept hearing in my head is good doesn't always equal easy, even though we want it to. And I really appreciated a reminder, you know, for those who straddle both worlds, because you've been given the gift of experiencing or seeing, or however you experience that spiritual realm that other people haven't had yet. It's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking now life should be a perpetual vacation because, you know, I know all of this stuff. So, and we can be too hard on ourselves and too hard on life, and not, and have to, I loved it as a reminder that, yeah, you know, good doesn't mean easy. You know, there's a gem in that struggle, either for you or the people you're with or the world. So I really like that. And I thank you for it. I thank everybody for it.
Yeah, there's so much wisdom when you guys speak. That's why I love when you can say what you got, because like for me being in that, I don't have that distance to see it all together, you know. So it's very powerful when you share what you got from observing. Anyone else would like to add anything?
Yeah, hi, Klara.
Yes. Hello, Jessie.
Hi, sorry, I've been getting ready for work. I got heaps out of all of them today. What Janine was saying first off about relationships, like not having relationships, wanting it, but then you hear others not wanting that stuff as well. The last bit about the integrity stuff and like speaking up. I've never really been able to speak up, and holding others accountable. Like I can see it, but not able to do it. And then the one before that, I forget what that was about, but I really identified with that as well. So it's been really good. I missed the first intro, about the first half hour, whatever it was that you were talking about. So do we get to see these ones again?
There is a recording, but I start the recording when we start the processes. I don't record when people share because it's more personal. I don't, you know. But I see you tomorrow, right? So.
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow, don't we have a appointment?
Do we? Okay.
Yeah, I thought, no, oh, not tomorrow. What is today? Yeah, tomorrow on Wednesday. I have you on my calendar.
I've got you as Friday. So today here
Friday?
is Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter, whatever. So you've got it as being tomorrow.
I know, like, so it's the time, yeah. So I have you. I thought that I have you tomorrow. We can figure it out later. Yeah, I can private message you. I thought that.
I've got to go to work today. I'm working 12 hours, so.
Okay. I will check it. If anyone would like to speak up, go ahead. I will check the appointment, Jessie, because I believe it was, Thursday. Okay. It's on Thursday, not Wednesday. All right.
Yeah, so I've got it as Friday.
For you, it's Friday. Okay, perfect. Then it's all working out. Okay, awesome. All right. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to say anything before we complete for today?
Hi, Klara. It's Sharon McMillan.
Yes.
For being the first time that I've really been able to sit and listen to the entire thing, I found it extremely interesting. But one of the things that I noticed for myself is, as you were talking, I began to like take on a headache and almost feel like I was being suppressed. Like there's a burden that's been placed on me that I don't know where it's come from.
Okay.
So I found it really interesting that it kind of came out. And it's like one of the other words that kind of comes to mind for me is almost like a bondage. So I found that very interesting, and I'm going to have to kind of, in a sense, lean into it and kind of try and find where it's coming from. You know, almost like I've, you know, it was put on me that I didn't, you know, not to really succeed at anything. So, you know, and just like small phrases that my dad would always say to me when I was growing up kind of were coming to mind. That was very kind of, it was meant as a compliment, but it was more of a sabotaging statement.
Yeah.
So I've found it all very interesting.
Yeah, so that's what we work on mostly in constellation work. Like we look at those things that linger and hold us back, and you know, people just say things, right? We don't have to become loyal to those statements, but especially when we love them and we see them as authority, we unconsciously can become loyal to that. And that's why like, in this work we are becoming more and more aware and you know, embracing more of our sovereignty and awareness. You know, what is ours, what doesn't have to be ours, what do I want to take on and what I don't want to take on. So that's why this work is so helpful, even though like often it looks just so symbolic, you know. But see, like the subconscious works with the symbolism and pictures, and so it's often not as important what I say. Sometimes just looking at someone else's constellation, you may get resolved on a deep level as well, just from the fact that you observe and something just starts clicking, you know. And things start coming out. So it's really beautiful how it works. Yeah, very good.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming today. It was awesome to have you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad I was actually able to make it, so I appreciate it.
Great.
Awesome. I'll make it a point to be on more.
Awesome. Yeah, we will have, so everyone, we will have, I think, one more Tuesday, and then I think that for a couple weeks I cannot do Tuesday, and we will have Friday evening for those who work because they cannot make it during the day, and then we will go back into Tuesdays. So there will be a change of schedule for a couple weeks. I will let you all know in the group. Okay. All right. So anyone else? Arena?
Klara, this is Simone. I just wanted to say
thank you. Yes.
Yeah, just thank you so much. It's I'm always just blown away by how profound the processes are and how you just, you know, zero right in.
Oh, thank you.
Spot on, and I appreciate it. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear. I appreciate you too. We are in it together. We are doing this together. You help me, I help you.
Absolutely.
Light workers, yes. We're learning from each other. You know, it's an honor to represent also for everyone because I'm growing from that as well. You know, it's amazing how much I get to learn about life, everything. So thank you so much for showing up and allowing me to work with you. Thanks. Oh, okay, Arena, now you can talk, I think.
I have been receiving many reminders from all these different constellations, and first of all, it's fascinating once again to see the depth of the roots of where the things are growing from, and it makes me realize again that I need to look into certain situations with my family, and I have already been doing some work, but it needs to go deeper, and there are deeper layers involved and things that are unresolved, as you were saying to Miriam, from my mother's generation, my mother relationship with my dad, and I feel very affected still. And also I could relate to the constellation about about the guides, where the guides were present. I have met in my life, I have friends in my life who were asking this question, that why are we still here? They were so attracted to go back to where they came from, and they were very struggling with life on Earth. And I think probably at some point I could connect to it. And it's good to have this reminder that there is obviously a reason for being here. And for me, be here, it's also to bring that energy here onto Earth, because from their side, they're not able to do this unless we materialize in this world.
Yeah.
So
we have to ground those frequencies here now. So we are bringing them from higher self and grounding them into the lower, like lower sun, into our world.
More dense, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this is a good. This is good for me to realize once again, because lately I've been struggling sometimes with the feeling of loneliness, and finding back my purpose, reconnecting to it, and continuing to make steps on my path, and now trusting and remembering, there is this connection with other frequencies, and that there's a purpose for being here.
Yes, and
that I'm actually not alone, and
yeah,
this feeling of disconnect is also has some roots somewhere.
Yeah, you are not alone. And there was actually one time I did a constellation with someone who actually couldn't connect to to her earthly parents at all. It was so interesting. Like usually we still have some connection and ways how we can continue some things that our parents started. And for her, there was like literally nothing, and like no rules on earth really make sense to her. And being in her energy totally made sense. Like when I was standing, but if she would speak about it, I would think like, oh, she is stuck up or something, But when I was in her energies, I was like, wow, like none of the energetic rules or logical rules make sense to her. And so no wonder, like she has to completely create a new paradigm. And so it was so freeing for her. There are some people like that, but most people, we still are both, like we continue something for our ancestry and also for the other places we are from, because we are multidimensional beings anyway. So it's so interesting to learn more and more about that as people are aligning. How does it connect, like this multidimensionality. And one thing I wanted to tell you, Arina, is that in constellations, our parents give and we take. And if our parents are willing to give us more, it's okay to take more. And you got the parents that can support you. It can be, sometimes we get parents who trigger us, and we become like amazing at our purpose because they triggered us. And sometimes they are just supportive their whole life for us, and that is okay too. Sometimes it's a mixture. They trigger.
For me, it's definitely a mix. It was a lot of, for me, it's definitely a mix. It was mostly triggering, but now it's support.
Yeah. And so it's about the meaning that we give to things. So, just work with the meaning. Like, what meaning do you attach to them supporting you? There's really nothing wrong with that. But what happens is, like, very often we go into feeling guilty you know, and then feeling like, well, I don't have a way to repay that to them because I don't want to become who they want me to become. And I don't have the money to give them, maybe, you know. So check the meaning you are giving to what they are giving as their support, you know. Like mostly from constellations, I know that parents do love to support. Sometimes there is hidden agenda, like they tell you like, okay, I give you this, but then I want you to be like this. They do not have right to do that, you know. But it's up to us as we are becoming more mature and adults to give a meaning to things that is more in integrity with ourselves, you know. So if you can see your parents as a blessing and support, you know, and leave the other things, you know, that are the parts of them being human and of them being also traumatized inner child still like acting out. If you can leave that aside of what good they are providing, you know, then you can benefit from both. You don't have to feel guilty, and then you want, it will release some energy that you spent on that, you know, like feeling like I can't repay them maybe, or, you know, like, oh, there's a string attached to that. So, you know, for now, that's the universe supporting you. And take that gift, even though it's coming through your parents and you may not like some things about them. Take that gift and do something with that, so that their sacrifice, even though they're not getting from you what they want, maybe, you know, but their sacrifice then is not in vain, because you will do something special for other humans. So they give to you, you give to others. Like sometimes people give to their children, or sometimes people create a business or do some service for humanity with that. And I know that's what you are after anyway. So use that gift and give yourself full permission to give, you know, in a way that you like giving, and that is aligned with your integrity and your purpose.
Thank you very much, Klara.
Yeah.
I feel what you're talking about. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Are we complete? I think Ola is working. I think she's only in the listening mode. I think Mehar, okay.
Wow, it took me in a different places. But I got one strong message that I was here because I was saying, why was I jumped into this so quick, like I was the first one? And all I got was I was supposed to clear because of the next generation of the family that is coming. And then I asked, yeah.
That's a huge service, dear. Like,
yeah.
where you are coming from, you know, like culturally, like women in India, there's a lot to clear for the next generations. That's a huge legacy that you can leave.
Yeah.
For the kids is clear slate. Yeah.
Yeah. So I asked them, like, whenever I'm trying to connect to the class, why am I getting sick? So it's because I'm not giving a full focus, and I'm focusing more towards the money than toward the constellation.
Mm-hmm.
That was awakening, because what Janine said, I think she had a lot of messages for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want to appreciate you so much and thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you pushing me going to doctor was a big thing. It was a lot of thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So.
I'm glad you went.
Yeah.
At times you have to, and I know, like, when you are sick, then you don't want to do things, but if you yeah your heart tells you, like, hey, okay, this needs to be taken care of.
Yes. Thank you. I'm so feeling so loved now, you know. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, I will get back to you as soon as you are healthy, so you can start going into environment that has energy, and will bring you up a little bit more. Awesome, great.
Thank you so much.
All right. Then, okay, so I think we are complete for today. Love you all. Thank you so much for showing up and allowing this. And thank you so much for being so generous and sharing with each other. Because as I said, it's a group effort, and so at the beginning I was doing more myself until, you can gain the confidence and the trust how this works. And I'm really proud of you being so generous and sharing with each other, because that's exactly how it should be happening. Like it's a group work. It's not just one person's show. And I'm growing with you as well. So I appreciate you, and I see you next Tuesday. There we go. Okay, thank you. So, anyone wanted to say something? Okay, just thank you everyone, and see you next Tuesday. Okay, bye-bye.